What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. If you're new, my name is Dave. This is my 2004 C5 Corvette. So if you're into Corvette content, especially some C5 content, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Now today I'm working on various projects for the car, but the main one I'm doing right now for this video is replacing the rear lowering bolts. These are the stock ones with some new grade 8 hardware. I picked these up from Bolt Depot. These are 7 inches. The stock rear lowering bolt is 6 inches, as you can see. Gives you a little bit more, gives you about an inch more here and about a ½ inch more just based on where the thread ends. So where this thread ends is where this one's pretty much going to pick up. So you should be able to get a little bit more drop out of it and get you to where you want if the stock lowering bolt isn't enough for you. And picking up these bolts, washers, and locking nut were about $25 online. I will leave links in the description to all those. So now let's get into removing the stock lowering bolt and putting the new ones in. Now for those that don't know, the C5 does come with some stock lowering bolts both in the rear and also in the front. I'll be doing the front here in a second. But here in the rear, the stock lowering bolt is right here. You do not need to actually remove the wheel to do this. I remove the wheel because I'm doing various other projects. You definitely don't need to, but it does open up a little bit of free space so that you can do this. So basically, you just need to hold the nut on top, and then on the bottom, I think it's either an 18 or a 19. I'll confirm that, but there's a bolt head on the bottom. You just have to loosen that and hold this nut on top, and then you'll be able to pull the existing lowering bolt out. Now when you are looking at the stock lowering bolt, the higher the nut goes here, the lower the car will go. As you can see, I still have a few more threads, but I want a little bit more drop than what's on these threads. I've been talking to a whole bunch of guys that put aftermarket bolts on. There's nothing wrong with the aftermarket bolt kit. It's just a little bit more money than just picking up some grade 8 hardware. Again, grade 8 7-inch bolt with some washers as well as a locking nut, all grade 8, and this is 9/16 by the way, so 9/16 by 7 inches. And by the way, the bolt on the bottom is an 18 millimeter. And again, I'm just using an adjustable on the top. So then after you break that free, you just pull the top nut off, pull the top bushing off, and the rest falls right out. You're going to need to reuse the existing bushings. So this one came off the top, and you're going to have to pull the bushing off the stock lowering bolt here and put this on the new lowering bolt. So again, this is all you're going to need to do the rear lowering bolts. Again, that's a 9/16 grade 8 7-inch long bolt, and the hardware to go along with it. You're going to need, for each bolt, you're going to need 2 9/16 washers, one on the bottom bushing, and then one to go on the top bushing once we put that in. Then also one 9/16 locking nut, one for each bolt. So you need 2 bolts, 4 washers, and 2 nuts. So now after putting the new bushing and washer here on the new bolt, all we have to do is now slip this in. Once we put this in through the leaf spring and the lower control arm, we're going to have to put the other bushing that we took off, and we're going to have to slide that on this way. It is a tight fit, at least for me, from the old bushing onto the new bolt. I pretty much have to like thread it on to get it over this and down into this area, but that's what I'm going to be doing now. So let's go ahead and put this in the car. So again, just going to slide this in, take the new, or not the new, the old bushing, and then all I'm going to do is use this in here. I'm just going to hold this, and then after starting that, I'll put the new grade 8 washer again on top, as well as now the new locking nut. Alright, so now that's tightened all the way. So what I'm going to do is just come back off that one full turn. I'm going to do the bolt, same to both sides. One full turn, and that's where I will leave the rear lowering bolts. They shouldn't contact anything here with the axle. I know it looks close, but it won't. If you go to like an 8-inch bolt, that will definitely touch. You see we're close, but we're not going to hit it. So again, many of the aftermarket bolts are 7 inches. These are obviously grade 8 and 9/16. I don't know what the aftermarket ones are, but this is pretty much as big as you can go with using the stock bushing. So again, very heavy duty bolt. I'm not worried about this thing breaking. This is just in the interim until hopefully maybe next year I'll be doing coilovers. So then these will come out. But in the meantime, I want a little bit more low, and that'll get me low. Alright guys, so that is the final fitment. I did not adjust the height of that bolt at all since the video, so it's just basically one turn back up from, I guess, what would be the highest setting with these longer bolts. So that is the fitment. Sorry I did not get like a measurement before. I went from the stock wheels to these newer wheels, so the height would have been slightly off anyway, but I am super duper happy with that ride height. Again, there's plenty of room if I want to go even lower, so if you are thinking about this, you can go even lower. So that's what it is in the back. I'm not super like happy with the front, but again, this is a temporary fix. Hopefully we will be doing coilovers on this at some point. Alright guys, so I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Thank you, and have a great day.